Imagine discovering that your DNA carries the strength of a warrior who battled mammoths under a frozen sky. Neanderthals, our ancient kin, weren't just survivors of a brutal world. They were titans of muscle and mind, their legacy pulsing in our veins. From 400,000 to 40,000 years ago, they roamed Europe and Asia during the Pleistocene, a time when woolly rhinos thundered across tundras and towering elephants shook the earth. Their story, carved in fossilized bones and whispered in our genes, isn't just a tale of the past. It's a warning for our future, urging us to learn from their triumphs and their fall. Picture a Neanderthal in the flesh, shorter than you'd expect, about 14 centimeters below the modern human average, but built like a fortress. Males averaged 83 kilograms, 183 pounds. Females 66 kilograms, 146 pounds, roughly 20% heavier than the Homo sapiens of their era. Their skeletons were marvels of engineering, bones twice as dense as ours, with shoulders, chests, and thighs rippling with muscle. A male Neanderthal could bench press 200 kilograms, 440 pounds, without training, a feat that would stun today's strongest athletes. Females matched this prowess, hoisting 160 kilograms, 350 pounds, with ease. This wasn't vanity, it was necessity. Wielding heavy spears, they hunted rhinos, horses, and woolly mammoths, beasts rivaling modern African elephants in size. Imagine the nerve to charge a 10-ton mammoth, its breath steaming in the frost, tusks slashing through the dusk. Neanderthals didn't just endure this world, they ruled it with raw power and relentless courage. Their bodies were sculpted for the Pleistocene's icy wrath. Broad rib cages housed lungs 20% larger than ours, with rare individuals like Kavara II boasting a 9-liter capacity, outstripping even elite athletes' 8.5 liters. Wide nasal cavities warmed frigid air before it hit their lungs, a lifeline in climates where a single breath could burn. To sustain their massive frames, they consumed 6,700 calories daily, double a modern human's needs. Their diet leaned heavily on meat, with 70% of calories from game, marking them as hyper-carnivores whose survival hinged on hunting mastery. Unlike endurance runners, they were sprinters, their long, wide toes gripping the earth. Fast-twitch muscle fibers fueled explosive bursts. This design, short legs, thin Achilles tendons, made them perfect for ambushing deer or dodging cave lions in a heartbeat. Strength was only half their story. Neanderthals had brains up to 30% larger than ours, 1,640 cubic centimeters for males, 1,460 cubic centimeters for females. Size didn't mean smarter, but it powered sophisticated skills, crafting flint blades, orchestrating hunts across days, and daubing ochre patterns on cave walls. Their eye sockets, 15% larger than ours, suggest eyes honed for the dim glow of pine forests, possibly piercing the dark better than ours. Expanded occipital lobes likely sharpened their sense of smell, letting them track elk through snow-swept valleys. Robust necks propped up heavy skulls, a physical necessity that complemented their mental agility. Far from brutish, they were thinkers, their minds as formidable as their muscles. Survival was a relentless trial. Up to 94% of Neanderthals bore scars of brutal injuries, cracked skulls, shattered limbs, even amputations, likely from wrestling mammoths or tangling with wolves. Yet most healed, hinting at communities where the wounded were tended with care. Burial sites, strewn with flowers and tools, reveal a tenderness that echoes our own rituals. Their courage was staggering. 74% carried marks of clashes with bears, hyenas, or big cats, often because they attacked first, driven by the need to feed their kin. These weren't reckless fights, but calculated gambles in a land where hunger was a constant shadow. Neanderthals vanished 40,000 years ago, but their essence lingers. When Homo sapiens arrived from Africa, the two species didn't just clash, they intertwined. Interbreeding left 1–2% Neanderthal DNA in non-African humans, subtly shaping our immune systems and resilience to cold. This wasn't a fleeting tryst, but a fusion that rewrote humanity's story. Their extinction, though, was a slow unraveling. The Pleistocene's final frosts dwindled herds of mammoths and rhinos, starving Neanderthals who relied on big game. Homo sapiens with finer tools, bone-sewn parkas, and sprawling tribes adapted faster. The Campi Flegrei volcano's eruption 39,000 years ago blanketed Europe in ash, sparking a volcanic winter that choked forests and iced rivers. Neanderthals, stretched to their limits, faltered. Their decline began earlier. Small, scattered clans suffered from low genetic diversity, leaving them vulnerable to diseases possibly carried by Homo sapiens. These pathogens, foreign to their systems, could have swept through villages weakened by famine. Yet, extinction wasn't always violent. Some Neanderthals blended into human groups, their features softening into ours, their DNA weaving a quiet legacy. This merging suggests not defeat but transformation, a species absorbed into the human mosaic, their strength and spirit enduring in us. Beyond genes, Neanderthals offer a mirror to our present. Their world crumbled under climate shifts and resource scarcity, much like the threats facing modern species. The African elephant, kin to their mammoth prey, faces extinction from poaching and habitat loss. Deforestation and global warming echo the upheavals that undid Neanderthals. Posing a chilling question, are we crafting our own demise? Their saga isn't just history, it's a call to act, to protect ecosystems before they vanish like the tundras of old. Their ingenuity deepens their story. Beyond spears and art, Neanderthals likely used early medicine, grinding herbs to soothe wounds, as pollen in their graves suggests. Their fires warmed bodies and ardent tools, but also fostered tales under starry skies, binding clans through shared stories. Picture an elder, face scarred from a bear's claw, teaching young hunters to flake flint or chant of ancient herds. These moments, fleeting yet profound, tie their lives to ours, showing humanity's spark glowed even in the Pleistocene's chill. Their social bonds were as vital as their brawn, cracked mammoth bones, scraped for marrow, hinted feasts that cemented trust. Caring for the elderly or crippled, seen in skeletons with healed but disabling injuries, reveals a compassion that defies their savage stereotype. These ties let them face blizzards and predators as one. Today, our screen-lit isolation, swiping past connection, might weaken the communal strength that kept Neanderthals alive. Their unity offers a lesson. Survival demands more than muscle. It requires heart. What did they feel watching herds thin and winters deepen? Did they gaze at auroras shimmering over icy peaks and dream of warmer days? Their art, handprints and etched lines, shows a drive to leave a mark, to whisper, "We existed." This urge mirrors our own as we post fleeting lives online, seeking permanence in a digital void. Neanderthals, in their stone-carved way, were as human as we are, their joys and fears etched in caves rather than clouds. Science keeps peeling back their secrets. AI-driven DNA studies show their genes influence our allergies, viral defenses, even mood regulation. Fossilized proteins in their teeth reveal a diet beyond meat, nuts, roots, and berries, painting them as adaptable omnivores, not just carnivore giants. These findings spark bold ideas. Could gene editing revive Neanderthal traits, like their cold tolerance, for humans on Mars? The ethics of such leaps, melding extinct kin with ourselves, echo the interbreeding that first fused our paths. Their story raises questions we can't ignore. Where does humanity end, and where does it begin? Their physicality still awes. Thick joints and reinforced spines absorbed the shock of thrusting spears into megafauna. Elevated testosterone, inferred from bone density, primed them for combat and toil. A Neanderthal could haul 27 kilograms of meat across 48 kilometers, 138 laps around a football field, without faltering. This stamina, paired with sprinting prowess, made them versatile hunters, stalking deer or charging bison with equal skill. Their heavy jaws and large teeth, once thought to crush bones, likely served as a third hand, gripping hides or wood while hands shaped tools. Wear patterns on their front teeth, unlike chewing marks, support this, showing a people who turned every part of their body into a tool. The Pleistocene shaped their every fiber. Glacial cycles forced endless adaptation, stitching hide tents, tracking migratory herds, or scavenging frozen kills. Snow-draped forests of birch and pine were both sanctuary and arena, alive with dire wolves and cave lions. Their nasal passages, warming air twice as fast as ours, let them thrive where breath could freeze. Their high-calorie diet, 20 modern burgers worth, fueled this grueling life, but chained them to abundant game, a weakness exposed when climates turned. Homo sapiens' arrival shifted the balance. Beyond sharper tools and tailored clothing, our ancestors wielded symbolic power. Cave murals and bone flutes suggest richer tales. These cultural strides built larger, tighter tribes, outpacing Neanderthals' smaller clans. Yet, their genetic mingling hints at collaboration. Imagine a Neanderthal and a Sapiens trading flint by a fire, their children blending brawn with cunning. This union, forged in the Pleistocene's fading light, shows humanity's strength lies in merging, not conquering. Their fall carries philosophical weight. Their reliance on finite game mirrors our dependence on fossil fuels, vulnerable to collapse. Today's tools, AI, gene editing, could avert their fate, but only with wisdom. Could we engineer forests to resist drought, as Neanderthals adapted to scarcity? Could we save elephants before they fade like mammoths? Their story urges us to balance innovation with care, lest we join them in oblivion. Neanderthals challenge our identity. Were they lesser humans, or simply different, forged by a world we can't fathom? Their art, compassion, and grit suggest a depth whilst we're only beginning to grasp. Each fossil, each gene, draws them nearer, blurring us from them. They weren't just kin, they were trailblazers, their path still guiding ours. Their world feels distant, yet close. A Neanderthal, spear in hand, scanning a frozen valley, wasn't unlike us, chasing dreams of a better dawn. Their strength, scars, and quiet rites speak of a universal drive to endure. As we face climate chaos and species loss, their trace in our DNA whispers, we are survivors, but survival demands change. Dive into their saga with Extinct Zoo. Subscribe and share to unearth humanity's ancient roots.